Hello friends, and welcome to Fernando's amazing podcast. I'm your host, Fernando. Joining me, as usual, is Gooseman.
Good morning.
Let's go straight to the song.
Yeah, let's do that. My mind is open. Let her rip.
I said, hey there, honey, sell me some chips. She said, slow down, big boy, show me your nips. Although my nipples are pristine and striking, this kind of barter is not to my liking. My eyes grew wide as my buttocks grew tight. Could she survive such a sensuous sight? Despite her lusts, I won't surrender. Why can't I just pay with legal tender?
I desire their crunch and taste. Don't give a damn about my waist.
I came in this store for a salty treat, and now you want to see my chest's man meat? Despite this, my nips begin to harden. 2 peaks over my chest hair garden. Her hair was silk, her skin was malty, but I still want to eat something salty. Who am I to deny her this pleasure? The fabulous tips of my pectoral treasure.
Grab some butter to lube me up. Don't want the stick, so I grab the tub.
I lifted my shirt with ferocious might, my abs glistening in the fluorescent light. Her face sweated with dark perversion. She leapt onto me, a swift incursion. Filled with ecstasy, the mastication, my stomach and heart in one location. Now in the throes of deepest passion, she fed me in seductive fashion.
What happened was no one's fault. I just had to taste that salt.
Enveloped in nasty, cheap perfume. The chips from your body I must consume. I love getting crumbs in every crease. Our bodies completely engulfed in grease. Tangible barter, transaction progressed. The bounty of the field for the fruits of my chest. Naturally, I obliged her wish. I did her a favor and also bought fish.
Finally, I have my prize. Kinda wish I got a larger size. I think that maybe a weakness with this form of collaboration is that it's difficult to tell stories. So if we outline a situation, we get 200 suggestions for what could happen next, and virtually nothing for what happens after that.
So we should stop?
No, I'm just saying that maybe the ones where we are riffing on something a bit vague rather than telling a linear story work better. Like the Artichoke song.
You were down on that last week.
Yeah, but then everyone liked it. I changed my mind. When the facts change, I change with them.
Well, that's good. Time to repeat the feat. Your turn.
My turn?
Yeah, I've done 3 songs, you've done 1. You do the maths.
That's too hard for me. What's higher, 3 or 1? I think 1 is higher. Your turn.
Well, I'm just gonna sit here and mentally prepare myself for the next segment. Do what you will.
Oh yeah? Okay, fine. He's really doing it. Alright, here I go. Hey man, have you had a chance to listen to my podcast yet?
Ooh, you're really exposing our belly here.
What the hell does that mean?
I mean that if people want to hang some shit on our little enterprise, now's their chance.
Oh, so you mean like we're dogs and we're exposing our belly to the audience, who in this metaphor are slavering dog eaters.
Yeah, or just other dogs.
Isn't that their throats though? Not belly.
Whatever. I'm not gonna sit here and defend my metaphor. I can't help it if you don't know about dogs.
I do not know about dogs, you're right. Just don't know. I wish it were otherwise.
On the topic of savage dogs ripping our bowels out, I took a look at the comments on our last episode.
That's my responsibility. You don't have to do that if you don't want to.
I wanted to see what people were saying, and it seems we're polarizing the audience. A lot of people are leaving nice comments, but some people are whining.
Just sounding off like hungry puppers. But you get that. I do want to say this is clearly labelled as a podcast. If you click on a video that has podcast in the title, then complain that the video is in fact a podcast, you should self-examine.
We're just trying to entertain and have fun. We don't attack anyone, and we're not out to put anyone down. If you want to board this boat, leave your negativity on dry land. And to all our friends out there, if you see someone being nasty, kindly ask them to leave the boat.
Yeah, get the fuck off.
No. Be nice, be kind and smooth. Only nice boys and girls are allowed on board this vessel.
We did drop a little bit of sacrilege last episode.
Oh, you think that was it?
Maybe. Not sorry though.
I guess they didn't appreciate your jizz sacrifice.
Well, you know, gifts don't have to be accepted. This one was. Should have cracked open a fish for the sky demon.
I don't think people offer fish to gods. It's usually a sheep or a goat.
Fresh out of them. Pretty sure you wouldn't be down with that anyway. Hey, Fernando, just gonna get on God's good side. Gonna slice open this here goat.
Not on my watch. So, we just went on about how nice we are. Then we slipped straight back into religion bashing mode.
We're just a couple of Richard Dawkins acolytes over here. Sounding off, getting up to no good.
Also, some people are complaining that YouTube is not the best means of transmitting our words. I've left this side of things to you. I hope you're doing the right thing.
Well, I'm not. I'm making a mess.
Ah, cool.
Up until now, I've published the episodes on YouTube because even though YouTube only begrudgingly tosses us the occasional ad, it is the only place where we can get some kind of revenue for this podcast. In response to your comments, I've decided not to do anything differently. If you're our patron, you can stream the audio and download the whole thing if you want.
Housekeeping over. So, how are we doing with this whole podcast thing? This is like our 7th pod, right?
5th. It's the 5th one. Each episode has received less listens than the last.
So, not good.
Nope, we're bombing.
Ah, nuts.
Yeah, but it's fine.
It is?
It's fine. It was worth a shot. I got an email this morning from a certain Vera.
Oh yeah? Who's that?
You know her. She's the dominatrix with the eye patch on Pleasure Island.
Oh, her. Yeah, I guess it makes sense that she would have a name.
It does, yes. What have you been calling her?
Eye patch lady. I always avoided her if I could.
That's just common sense. She's a real whipper of things. Loves that whip of hers.
So what did she want?
Well, first she said our podcast sucks. Most people when emailing someone they haven't spoken to for a while will say something like, hey, it's been a while, how have you been? Or at least, hope you've been well, not Vera.
Oh well, that's fine.
Yeah, she's entitled to her opinion, but she also said she might be able to convince the council to spot us 2 free tickets to Pleasure Island.
Ooh, don't know about that. What's this about a council?
It's the new form of governance on Pleasure Island. Vera's on the council, there's a gimp to represent Gimp Mountain, there's a nun from that weird sect in the north.
The nuns will oppose us.
Yeah, that's one vote against. It doesn't have to be unanimous though, just a majority, so we should be fine.
The Gimps should vote for us. I always maintained good relations with the Gimps.
I believe that.
Who else is on the council? Randy?
No, I don't think so. That guy Terry's on the council.
Terry's a legend. He'll vote for us.
Yeah, Terry's in the bag. I don't know who else.
What if it's a trap? What if they just want to put us in prison, or worse? We used to run things.
We went through this in an earlier episode. Honestly, why would they bother? We're no threat. We can't even get there without their help. We are really quite helpless. I think Vera's worried that we'll spill state secrets on our show.
I don't know, man. You know how I feel about Pleasure Airlines. Their safety standards are woefully low.
Well, it's just a matter of time before we run into the Coast Guard or the Navy, and then we're done. If we can just get to a neutral airport, this little ocean sojourn of ours could come to a happy end. Also, she said she had some jobs for us.
Oh, really? Doing what?
She didn't say, but she did say that they've just opened a resort on Pleasure Island.
No way. Really?
Yep, I'll show you the pictures later. It's pretty nice.
Wow, the influx of tourism is going to piss off the long-time residents.
I think Vera's worked it out so everyone gets something from this. Maybe when we get there, we'll find it's a hotbed of simmering tension between the various factions. We don't have to align with anyone. This could be our fresh start.
I've never worked in hospitality.
Me neither. Hopefully we can be the entertainers.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
We'd probably have to stop podcasting.
Ah, dang it.
I can see you're just devastated by that prospect.
Yeah, man. Didn't know you were going to rip my heart out today. Okay, well, we should probably move on to the question segment. But keep me updated on this.
I shall do that. This first one comes from Mist Zero. A furry offer to have sex with you, but she will a costume and you have to wear one too. Would you do it, and what animal suit would you get into? P.S. She'll be in a squid suit.
This is a tough question. Squids are my natural foe, and I desire them even less than other creatures. But if you recall, I said last episode that I try to see the person beneath the suit. So to answer the first part of that question, if I was attracted to the lady who was seducing me, and if I felt like it, I would make love to her, suit or no suit. As to the second part of the question, obviously, I'd dress as a goat.
Yeah, that was my guess.
Now you answer.
Oh, well, the first part of the question, almost certainly yes. How do I put this in a way that is in line with modern sensibilities?
I know what you want to say. I think the secret is to be self-deprecating. People will forgive a lot if it's obvious that you hate yourself.
I wouldn't go that far, but okay, I'm a really horny guy. I struggle with convincing the ladies that I am a worthy mate for them. So yes, I'd sleep with a furry if she was offering. If she says to me, I won't sleep with you unless you construct an elaborate animal costume, well, I'd be an albatross.
Oh.
Yeah, I'd love to traverse the ocean on the warm winds. And an albatross doesn't have to flap much, it just glides around. I already mostly eat fish.
Birds have tiny, strangely shaped penises.
Oh, thanks for that. What am I supposed to say? Horse? That's the go-to animal for big dick fans, right?
Sure, I guess.
I've got news for you. Horses are lame. They suck.
Yeah, you're right. They're pretty lame.
I'll go further. If you roleplay as a horse, you need to get your mind out of the paddock. I don't know how else to answer this question because I'm not into the kink. No, wait. I would dress as Bromondo, the Pyrenees sea dragon. He has a 10-meter wingspan and a 12-inch schlong.
Only 12 inches?
Yeah, because if it's bigger, then I'm not compatible with the furry girls, right? I'm sure you will agree, you can have too much of anything.
They can play the same game though. You can have a 57-inch dong with the circumference of a butternut pumpkin. They too can be appropriately sized, to put it politely.
You are such a gentleman. This conversation sucks though, we should move on.
Neither of us truly understand the furry mindset. We're just guessing. Pyrenees is the name of the mountain range between France and Spain.
So?
So why would a sea dragon dwell in a mountain range?
Please don't poke holes in the origin story of my fursuit character, or I'll have him poke holes in you later on when we roleplay.
New listeners should know he's referring to the role-playing segment. We do not roleplay on our own initiative, and if we did, it wouldn't involve Bromondo the sea dragon from the Pyrenees Mountains.
Okay, next question from Green Soap. Fernando, what is it that happens when goat demons drink milk harnessed from a goat's udder? I am asking because the goat demon you seduced was sucked into some kind of vortex after you had fed her the spiked yogurt. My thought has always been that she was brought back to her own dimension of goats, where I assume Mr. Flaster, your old mentor, is also from.
These people know a lot about our lives. It's a bit creepy.
Yeah, well, I have no clue what the hell this question is about. We spoke about Mr. Flaster last episode. It seems like anytime he's involved, shit gets really weird.
Have you ever tasted human milk?
Well, I guess I did when I was young.
I mean, as an adult.
No, and I have no plans to.
That's good, because it's really gross. That ought to answer the question.
That doesn't come close to answering my questions.
The answer is I charmed the milk that I incorporated into the yogurt I fed the goat demon. I can't tell you more other than it was something I learned from my father when I was young. It's the only way to defeat goat demons. It resonated with her flesh and recalled her back to her realm. The resulting tear in the dimensional fabric caused a massive explosion which destroyed the castle.
What? This is gibberish. This did not happen.
Okay, sure. Whatever you need.
Here's a question for Fernando from Matt Cash. Who has a stronger musk, you or the smelly French man, Yvonne of the Yukon?
My musk is strong. Always.
You're a man? Yvonne is a man. Why couldn't he have a stronger musk than you? You're not the smelliest man on earth. Why would you want to be?
Don't conflate stench with musk. My musk is strong.
Okay, but what if his is stronger?
Then I will concede defeat like a gentleman. But he'll have to find me and defeat me first. Otherwise, this transnational smack-talking will continue.
I guess that's fair. You can't let your cloak of bravado fall to reveal the frail, quivering ego underneath.
Now you're projecting your shit onto me.
If I want to project my shit onto you, I'll do it with my hands and not my tongue. You just watch out. You'll be waddling from the head to the wheelhouse and you'll catch a faceful.
Looking forward to it.
Here's an interesting question from Ace Gaming LPs.
Yeah. I remember this guy from the first couple of episodes. If this is more guff about yogurt and chipmunks, I don't want to hear it.
No, he's dropped that. I do hope that the nation-state of Monandia found a solution to their problems.
I don't care. Ask the question.
We keep our eye on the ball on this podcast. Here's the question. It opens with, revs up the disc player, sets a funky, futuristic beat to the question. Oh. I'm not going to do that though, I'm too lazy. Just imagine it.
Keep going.
Once again, hello Fernando, it is a pleasure to be on your show. Here's query written quite weary and hypnotized by those chocolate eyes, but I surmise. When working hard for $1, getting the ladies to loudly holler, what kind of tunes do you use with moves altruistic? What's your favorite kind of bangin' music? Zo. That zo is in tiny letters.
Oh, well, this is actually a really good question. This makes up for his earlier efforts.
I'm glad I can facilitate the reconciliation between you and Ace Gaming LPs. So, what tunes do you bang to?
If a customer is in my lair, and Ace Gaming LPs assumes ladies, but that is not always the case, I'll tailor the music to what I think he or she might like. If they're nervous, something ambient, or maybe something spicier, but still soothing, like Serge Gainsbourg. If I judge the situation needs some pep, I'll put on some classic Eurodance.
Oh, okay. Not moancore?
No, not moancore. How weird would that be? Come to my sex den where I will make love to you while we listen to my pre-recorded moans. Come on. But if the client requested moancore, I would happily comply. It's about them, not me.
Do the Dew 123 wants to know, hey Fernando, do you love the Walrus Pit and is it dangerous to go on the weekends?
Hell yeah, I love it. Not quite as much as this guy right here, but you know, I like a good wallow. You should know it's quite dangerous 7 days a week. If a walrus decides to roll over at the wrong time, you're done. They don't respect our calendar.
I don't think many of the humans on Pleasure Island could tell you what day it was if you asked them. But don't risk the pit after dark. A couple of reckless fools have met their end that way.
Very sad.
This one's from Shmaloiva Smalid. Dear me.
What a mouthful.
Dear Fernando, if Randy promised to leave Pleasure Island and come back to you, but only if you wear a chastity belt, would you agree to wear it?
Why does everyone want me to wear a chastity belt? It's really strange.
I think it'd solve some problems for everyone.
Yeah, fuck you. No, under no circumstances will I wear a chastity belt. I mean, being around Randy and not being capable of loving her with my dude soul would be a special kind of torture. I'd rather worship her from afar.
Our next questioner is Baxter Barclay. Does Manwhore Industries have a HR department? If so, what can they usually expect to deal with?
We were never big enough to need one.
I'm going to resist taking a cheap shot at human resources as a profession and a concept. If anyone in HR is listening, you're really well paid, so you can repay my tact by buying some of our tracks maybe. It'll really help us out.
Are you being tactful or pathetic? My thoughts? Both.
I'm being nice, and also trying not to add to our list of enemies. We had a guy impersonating a HR employee a few weeks ago. Not sure what his scam was.
Oh yeah, his name was Richard, right? What happened to him?
We fired him. Jet Sword wants to know, have you guys been attacked by pirates or considering become pirates while at sea? I think you could do quite well for yourselves if you went down that path. Also, which of you is captain?
We're in enough trouble already, and our vessel isn't really suitable for piracy.
Yeah, we can't overtake anyone, and if we robbed someone we might just sink under the weight of the booty as we sailed away and need to be rescued by our victims. Also, I'm the captain.
Yeah, whatever. I'm your nubile cabin boy.
Don't say that, people will get the wrong idea.
So what if they do?
We're two guys on a boat, not two lovers on a boat. Co-workers, collaborators, platonic companions. Labels are important.
You're so hung up.
I'll hang you up. No homo.
Are you still doing that? I'm a naughty boy. Captain Gooseman ties my wrists to the crossbeam down below. All the homo. So much homo.
Ah, jeez.
Captain Gooseman unwraps a crusty bundle to reveal his well-oiled whip. One of his damp, muscly hands grasped the shaft, sending a tremor of anticipation through the coiled instrument while the other reached for his belt buckle.
And you say you don't enjoy role-playing. You're pretty good at this. Maybe you should be the dungeon master.
Oh, dungeon master. But will the proud captain submit to my will?
Okay, let's move on before nubile cabin boy gets too excited.
Too late, sir.
This question comes from Herder. Fernando, what is your opinion about drinking the milk straight out of the bottle?
Why dirty a glass if you don't need to?
Yeah, this is what I live with. Germs everywhere. Chocoman45 wants to know, Fernando, how about you expand the business ventures of Manwhore Industries? With your colourful drug-induced history with offering up services of depravity and pleasure, you are in the best position to manage such a lucrative and no doubt sticky business. You don't even have to come up with a new name.
I'm not sure I understand the question. Is he saying we should just do something else and use the company name?
I think he might be suggesting we open a brothel, although he doesn't spell it out. Here's the problem, Chocoman45. We're in deep shit with the Consumer Safety Association. We can't afford a lawyer. I'm trying to manage the situation from afar, but things are dire. We're out here in international waters avoiding phone calls, emails, debt collectors, and court appearances. At this point, it could blow over or it could escalate. We're waiting to see, but I'm not going to risk anything by stepping foot on the mainland. The proud name and history of Manwhore Industries is well and truly tarnished. Maybe we can use it again in the future, once people forget about our past actions, but I doubt it. Next question is from King Kamina. Dear Fernando and Gooseman, my new hideout has man-whores all around it, and they are nowhere near either of your levels of sexiness. How do I get rid of extremely low-class man-whores without the use of violence?
I'm sorry, but every man-whore has a right to stake his territory and exploit it. But I mean, really, you can work harmoniously. If you are the best, you will outshine the bland whores around you.
Did you just say bland whores?
Yeah, just drop some industry lingo on you. Man-horse can work together or be fiercely independent. If you are as good as the phrasing of your question implies, just go to work. You'll get the best customers, and the bland-horse will go elsewhere for sustenance. Also, no one needs to die over territory. By all means defend yourself, but never be the aggressor. The best man-whores nurture passion and love in their hearts, for their clients and for their competitors.
This next one relates to a question from last episode, and it's from Samson. Not gonna lie, I would lick a salted caramel Fernando, and I'm not even into men.
Well, that's good to hear, but it's not a question. What do you want me to say?
I mentioned it because I think it's a good business idea. Mix some salt and caramel, a sexy ad campaign.
Whoa, hold it. I can't believe you'd consider making food after our experience with the perfume. The Consumer Safety Association will be all over that.
Well, maybe we could do it elsewhere and export it. I wonder if we could arrange shipping from Pleasure Island.
It's good to see your gears are still turning. Keep at it.
Well, should we do the roleplay?
You're really asking me? No, we shouldn't.
We'd be leaving people hanging. You've still got to escape the chapter house.
We really yacked it up before. I think we've gone long enough.
Well, I was gently insistent, but he's not budging. Let's shelve the roleplay for next episode.
Before we go, I want to talk about the fan art.
Yes, we did get some of that fan art. I'm going to show the first piece, no doubt inspired by your message of tolerance and understanding on the topic of furries from last episode, from Nico Possum.
I don't look happy. Maybe I'm thinking of the evening I'm about to spend with Bromondo the Pyrenees sea dragon.
I know this is a podcast. If you're listening, you'll have to check the video. If you can't be bothered, this will be over soon.
We're bedeviling this medium with our disregard for tradition.
What is this now, a podcast or a slideshow cast? Am I right, guys?
When you're right, you're right. Good job.
There's some joke humors we can all relate to, not knowing what medium you're consuming. We've all been there. Am I right, guys? What am I looking at here? A magazine?
You look like you're kinda unspooling over there. You okay?
I'm fine. It's the end of the show. Everyone's clicked off by now. We can say whatever we like. On some issues, Hitler made a lot of sense.
Okay, keep it together. We've got another piece here from Necrophyte. I like my hair in this picture.
This last piece is a comic from Bad Cookie Dough.
I like this a lot. It's a sweet story. A little bittersweet.
Yeah, it's a tender tale.
Alright, we're done here. Switch it off.
Fernando's taking the lead, listeners. I'm a helpless pawn.
Thanks for listening. Leave a lyrical suggestion for Gooseman's song about how bad this podcast is.
No, it's not about this podcast. This podcast is great. It's like the singer is someone we all know who has a podcast no one listens to that is harassing people to listen to it.
Finally, we come up with something people can relate to.
After all these years, our next project is an animated sitcom where Fernando plays a really stupid dad.
What character do you play in the sitcom?
I'm the sassy neighbor, of course.
I'm like, hey neighbor, stay away from my sweet, healthy kids.
And I say, okay, and then I don't, with hilarious results.
I would not watch that.
Me neither. We may or may not roleplay next episode. Depends if I can convince this implacable rock sitting next to me to take part.
Okay, see you next time.
Yeah, if there is one.
Oh, right. If you don't hear from us again, our boat sank, or the council voted in our favor and we made it to Pleasure Island, or our plane crashed due to poor maintenance and we are dead.
Or we ran into the Coast Guard, or pirates, or a whale, or we ate toxic fish, or we both had heart attacks. And by the way, we will definitely finish the podcast song, no matter whether we continue this podcast or not. We'll publish it in some form, so please write some suggestions for that. In fact, let's play it again so it's fresh in your mind. Hey man, have you had a chance to listen to my podcast yet?
Alright, see you, maybe.
Bye.